The Netherlands is heading to Liverpool this year with Mia Nicolai and Dion Warwick and their song Burning
Dionne
Daylight.
Warwick. You did well to get her involved.
They're sending Mia Nicolai and Dion Cooper with Burning Daylight. But will they be burning out in the semi-finals? Let's review Eurovision. The Netherlands is heading to Liverpool this year with Mia Nicolai. You just look like you're laughing.
I am because I'm waiting for you to say Dionne Warwick again, and I'm enjoying the thought of her being the Dutch entrant at Eurovision.
Last year they sent De Diepte, which was gorgeous, gorgeous entry. Didn't do as well as I think it was kind of tipped to do, but it still did pretty well. This is definitely on the kind of a similar vein. What do we make of it?
Um, I don't know. It leaves me feeling quite cold, I think. You know, if you go into an entry selling it very, very early on as this has been written by Duncan Lawrence, which I mean, I'm not Arcade's biggest fan anyway, but the one good thing about it was it was a solidly written song and he was behind it in large part. If you go into your entry with two relative unknown people saying he's written it, expectations are going to be high. So it was almost inevitable that they were going to be let down, and they've really have been let down. It's yeah, I just don't really feel anything about it. The first 2 minutes, it doesn't feel very like a duet because she doesn't start singing for about a minute of 15. The first nearly half the song is just him, and then it's I don't know how that dynamic's going to work on stage, whether she's just not going to appear or what, but it feels very much he's done his bit, then she's recorded her bit, and then they sort of sang over the top of each other at the end. It doesn't actually feel that much like a duet, and it's the first. It takes a long time to build, a long time to build. It only really comes to life in the last minute, and then when it does come to life, it doesn't come to life in a rewarding enough way to warrant the amount of time it's taken to get there. Basically, it just feels like a letdown every single level. And when you've got, I still think "Calm After the Storm" is one of the best Eurovision songs ever. It's a stunning entry. That has set the bar for duets at Eurovision. Full stop. So when the Dutch come back with another duet that's written by a former winner, and actually, was Arcade written by her as well? Ilse de Lange, maybe she was definitely his coach on The Voice. I don't know whether she wrote it, but when you that's where the bar is at, and they've completely missed it. So I'm worried about this one. Frankly, I'm quite disappointed.
Interesting. Yeah, I know what you mean. When the expectation is there of it being kind of written by a former winner, I guess that automatically you expect more from it. So it was kind of always gonna slightly not meet it. And then when you compare it to other entries like Come After the Storm, it is kind of trickier for it. There's nothing I dislike about it. I completely take your point about it taking so long. You forget that it's a duet for the first kind of minute and 15 because she's kind of not there. And I'm intrigued to see how they'll kind of play that out with the staging. Um, so yeah, I like it as a song, but it does kind of feel a bit duets kind of really need to hit the mark to do well, I think, and this kind of it just kind of feels it's nothing that we haven't really heard before. But I don't know, I disagree that it doesn't feel worth it when you get towards the end. I definitely think, you know, it's going somewhere, and then for me, that kind of end bit does hit the mark. But as a whole, like event, the song, it's yeah, it's nice, but it's not blowing me away. And I do find it a bit kind of similar to what they sent last year, in that it's a ballad. But but yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Um
I think as well when the last minute it needs strong vocal to carry it. And if you've seen any of the performances that they've done at the pre-parties, um, oof, those vocals are, I mean, virtually non-existent. The one at the Eurovision in concert was just bad. And I mean, there's a limit to what I can say because I can't sing myself, but it was not. They treat it like a rock song, and that's not what it is. And the vocal is just not there at all. So the song itself is disappointing in the last minute, and then when they can't sing it, it's like disappointment on top of disappointment.
Yeah. It's almost like if it was sang well, it'd carry the last minute more. But if it's not, there we are. But it's going in semi-final one. I think is it going 14th?
It is just before Finland.
Just before Finland. Each. Do you think it's going through, and how would you rank it personally?
So my personal rating is a 4.5. Oh. Is that harsh? I just don't.
I think that's harsh.
The vocal is worrying, and it's
that's like there's more you dislike about it than like, and I don't feel like there's that much to dislike about it. It's just
don't care. I really think it's just not. It's not bad, but it's not good. And I kind of just, on balance, think it falls onto the. That's the thing. I'm so disappointed in it. It sort of has dropped below the average of being a 5 smack bang in the middle. And it's not much of a duet because she's not in it for half of it. I don't know. I just really disappointed by it. I think it's a 4.5 from me. And I don't think this is going to qualify. I was worried about. I did have said for a few weeks this is going to be the shock non-qualifier of the year. Then we started hearing their live vocal, and I'm now even more convinced of it. I thought this wasn't going to go through anyway because it's just, what is there to vote for if you're a televote? I just don't see I just don't see enough people getting behind it. I really don't. And it being before Finland, anything that's on like immediately after Sweden or Finland in either the semis or the final is dead in the water before or after it. Because you're just going to be blown away. They are so standout and in your face and boom songs that anything on either side of it doesn't stand a chance. So it was going to struggle anyway. It's been shot in the head by Finland and the running order, and it doesn't stand a chance of making it through. So I would be surprised, very, very surprised if it does qualify, frankly.
Interesting. So I'd lean towards thinking it will qualify because I think the novelty of a duet will carry it somewhat in that it will potentially feel a bit different. Admittedly, being around Finland is probably not the best place for it to be, but I think kind of on balance, it might scrape through. For me personally, it's a 6.5. It's nothing. It's nice. I'd listen to it, but it doesn't wow me. I'm intrigued to see what they'll do with the staging actually, because I really liked what they did with last year's entry, Dediepte, and I think kind of something almost a bit similar to that might work, but
I think the Dutch. I'm not. I do think the Dutch struggle with staging. Actually.
Yeah, they do.
They really do struggle with it. They often got the right song. They just don't know how to stage it because arcade staging was shit. Let's face it. It was just him and a piano. It wasn't anything. They were lucky to win that year. It shouldn't have won, and it was not the Dutch song that should have won. Frankly, the only one they've got right is Car After the Storm. Really, other than that, it's been quite poor.
So they've shown they can stage a duet.
That is true. That is true. But then, that's such an iconic entry. You can't. How do you do it
again?
You're inviting comparisons to it, and on every possible level, this falls short of that, and it falls short of pretty much anything. It's probably my least favorite Dutch entry for a few years, frankly. Probably since Outlaw in him, actually. Maybe even before then. I don't know. I'm really not a fan. I'm disappointed. Anyway, I'll wrap up. That's what we think. Do let us know what you think. We're sort of not overly enthused by it. Emily's slightly happy with it than I am, but do let us know what you think. The comments are open, and also like and subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the bell. and you'll get notified every time we have new videos. We're also on Instagram at Eurovision, so give us a follow there. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.